Hello everyone and welcome to Hope Wealth Planning. Our mission is to guide you to finding financial freedom. I am Raisa.
And I am Mihei, a financial coach.
This week at Hope Wealth Planning we're talking all about budgets, what it is, how to do them, and why you need them. Mihei, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you. My name is Mihei and I'm a financial coach. I help individuals, couples, and small business owners reach their financial goals. One area that I start with is the budget, and I find that many people don't do the budget.
And now the questions. If you have any questions about budgeting that we do not answer in this video, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below and we'll get to them in the next video. Question number 1, what is a budget?
So a budget is basically, it's your blueprint for your money. It's what you're going to do with your money before you actually do it. So we want to plan out what we're going to spend for the month and then do that according to our budget.
Question number 2, why do I need a budget?
A budget doesn't track what we do, it plans for us what to do. It's essentially our roadmap to whatever successful future that we want. If we want to have a road trip to Florida, for instance, to go to the beach, and we live somewhere in Michigan, if we don't have a map, we might end up somewhere in rainy Seattle, Washington. And so the budget is that roadmap. It is our plan to get where we want to go.
Question number 3, how do we budget with 2 incomes?
Okay, that's a good question. If you live in a household that has 2 incomes, like both spouses work, then you will have obviously 2 incomes. What you want to do is take both of those incomes, put them together just on paper, and plan for both of those incomes. For instance, if the husband works and brings home $4,000 a month, and if the wife works and brings in $4,000 a month total, then you've got to budget $8,000 a month.
Question number 4, when you are setting up a budget, what are the priorities?
That is a very good question.
Thank you.
So when you're setting up your budget, especially if it's your first time, there's 5 areas that we want to concentrate on that are the priorities, the key areas that we need to do first and foremost. Number 1, food. So we're never going to go hungry. Food comes first, not restaurants, just groceries for home. Number 2 is going to be shelter. That's going to be your rent or mortgage. So if you want to, if you're renting or if you're owning, then you want to make sure your mortgage is paid. Number 3 is going to be utilities. You want to make sure you've got hot water to shower and clean and wash the dishes and wash your clothes. Number 4 would be clothing. Now this area, many times people have enough clothing that they don't need to spend money on for a little while, so that area can kind of go through for a month or 2. Unless you've got kids and they're growing, then, you know, high water pants are not very good.
They're not in style anymore.
And then number 5 would be transportation. You want to make sure that you can get to work. And so those are the 5 areas that you want to focus on first. That's what comes out of your budget first. You don't pay your credit card first. You don't pay for your timeshare or anything else first. Those 5 things get first. If you can only do 5 things, those are going to be what you pay first. Everything else is just left on the table if you can't pay for it, if you have no money.
Question number 5, what do I do if my bills and expenses are more than my income?
That's a good one. So if we just do simple math, if your expenses are higher than your income, essentially we're going to be going into debt, right? If your expenses are $4,000 a month and your bills are $5,000 a month, we're going $1,000 into debt every single month, right? And so we need to drop those expenses down. That entertainment budget is going to have to bring down a little bit to not go into debt. And that's the main goal here. We don't want to go into debt. We want to spend less than we make, not more than we make. Now, there's some times where we have an emergency, and that's why we set up our emergency fund. But essentially, basic math is involved when we just have to spend less money than we bring home.
Question number 6, what are 3 things that can be cut out of the budget if you are saving money or trying to get out of debt?
Ooh, this one is the restrictive question.
Yeah.
So how do you limit the budget, basically? How do you cut down the budget? Well, this is going to be a word that many people don't like, myself included, and that's going to be sacrificing some things. So if you want to cut down the budget and have more money for debt payoff, essentially we need to spend less in every other category. There's some categories that we can't move around, like your mortgage or your rent. You can't lower those unless you know the landlord and you say, hey, I'll clean the yard for a couple months, and if we can get $100 off. If you're renting, if you're a homeowner, you can't do that. Banks don't care if you cut your lawn. The food budget is a big one for us, and so that's one area that I recommend to look at to start with. Let's eliminate the entertainment area, because if we're in debt and we're trying to pay off debt, restaurants and going out, that's a very big area where we spend a lot of money. I know for a fact that we can go over $500 past our budget on entertainment just by simply not paying attention. So entertainment, restaurants, food is one area. Transportation is not very adjustable, so we want to just make sure we're making those payments. What other areas can we look at? We start looking at all of our subscriptions. Maybe there's a gym membership that we haven't used for the past 2 months, because I know I've done that, and so cancel that one. $30 a month. I mean, whatever they charge nowadays, I don't know. We do a home gym, so that saves us money. Essentially, every single dollar that you are spending, look at it and ask and say, can I do without this item? Can I do without this section? Can I do without Netflix for a few months? Yeah, it's only $10. I think they've raised their rates to like $12 or $15, but every single dollar counts when we're getting out of debt. And so subscriptions, many people have multiple subscriptions that they've forgotten about. What do you remember that we were doing?
Well, we stopped eating out at restaurants. We didn't do that a lot in the beginning anyways, but we cut it out entirely, and we cooked a lot more at home. That was one of the
That's a
biggest things that
big one, because eating out and going to work and getting lunch at work is so expensive. Watch the convenience stores. For me, that was a huge one. I was spending over $350 a month just by stopping at a gas station. That could all go towards debt. If you're buying a package of hot dogs at Walmart, it's much cheaper than getting individual ones at a convenience store. And all the other little items that we buy at convenience store. They're convenient, but they're convenient because they're expensive. And they make a lot of money just on our laziness, not wanting to buy all the stuff that we need to. And in general, we should just spend less.
Question number 7. What is your number one tip that you would give to someone who is brand new at budgeting?
Just do it. One of the main things that I run across as a financial coach is we go and set up a budget, or we're teaching one of our financial classes, and we set up these beautiful budgets. Everything's in line, all the items are perfectly categorized, but then the people don't take action. I will tell you guys this: the first budget will not work. The second budget will not work a little bit less. The third budget will work a little better, and by the 4th, 5th, and 6th, you will start getting better and improving on the budget. You will make changes, and that's okay. That's what a budget is. It's your plan. If you're driving down the road towards a destination and you need to make a detour, if you need to make that detour, we can make that. But if it's just for an extravagance or an expense that we don't need, then that's something that we want to stay away from, definitely. But if you're new to budgeting, just learn about how the budgeting process works. Watch videos, watch our videos, watch our videos, watch every video online that you see about budgeting. There's so much free information out there. Just learn how the budgeting process works.
Get a financial coach.
Get a financial coach. And overall, the biggest thing that I would say is just make it simple. The budget needs to be simple, and it should not take you more than 30 minutes a month. 30 minutes, that's all it should take. If you're sitting down and spending 3 hours on this thing every week or every 2 weeks, something's wrong. We're spending way too much time on the what and not, or on the how, and we're not actually doing it on the what. So we need to just do the simple plan and take action with that plan. And most of the time that action just means let's not spend money.
Yeah, most of the time the action is inaction.
Yeah. So the basics of budgeting is just setting up the budget and doing the budget. It is your contract. Stick to the budget as best that you can. If adjustments need to be made, then you consult with your partner. If you're single, consult with an accountability partner. If you have any more questions about budgeting, please comment down below and we will feature it in our next video.
If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for next week's video where we talk all about how to get out of debt.
From all of us at Hopewell Planning to you and yours, I hope you have a wonderful day.
Bye!
If you enjoyed this video but want to learn more, click down below to read Mihei's article, The Basics of Budgeting, where he talks more in depth about budgeting. Click the link down below to check out our website where you can schedule your free session with a financial coach. And don't forget to subscribe for next week's video where we talk all about getting out of debt.